So, what if the biggest challenge facing a whole generation of young Afghans isn't what we think it is? What if it's not about a lack of resources, but a lack of connection? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful new strategy that's all about building a digital bridge, a bridge to knowledge, to community, and to a whole world of opportunity.
This quote, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The talent, the drive, the ambition, it's all there. The problem isn't the potential, it's the connection. And that simple but really profound idea is the key to understanding this entire strategy.
Okay, so before we can really dig into the solution, we have to get a handle on the scale of the challenge. What is the day-to-day reality for millions of young people inside Afghanistan right now?
Well, a recent survey of over 6,000 young Afghans paints a pretty stark picture. For so many, and especially for women and girls, the doors to education are just closed. And this isn't just about missing classes. It leads to sky-high unemployment and this feeling of being completely voiceless in your own future. Just imagine being full of potential but facing walls at every single turn. You can understand why it creates such deep anxiety.
But here's the thing, that's only one side of the story. Because outside of Afghanistan, there is this vast, highly skilled, and globally connected resource, the Afghan diaspora. This community is an absolute powerhouse of knowledge and experience, and they hold so much potential to be part of the solution.
And this is where you see the fundamental disconnect. On one side, you have a generation facing isolation and really limited opportunities. And on the other, you have a global community with world-class education, professional networks, and incredible tech skills. Right now, they're essentially living in two separate worlds.
So the crucial point is this. The problem isn't really a lack of resources overall, but the absence of a structured, scalable bridge to connect the two. How do you get all that knowledge and experience from the diaspora over to the youth who need it the most? And this brings us right to the core of the strategy. Instead of relying on the old models, the plan is to forge a digital bridge, a totally new kind of infrastructure that's actually built for the 21st century.
The solution has a name, the Global Afghan Bridge Network. Now think of it as a dedicated digital ecosystem. It's not just another website or an app, it's a purpose-built infrastructure designed from the ground up to create systematic connections, mentorship, and collaboration on a massive scale.
And this whole network runs on three simple but incredibly powerful principles. First, it prioritizes transferring knowledge and skills, not just sending money. That's a huge shift. Second, it's about actively mapping and connecting the incredible talent that's already out there in the global diaspora. And third, you use that connection to create real-world educational and economic opportunities.
Okay, so let's get into the blueprint. Let's see how this digital bridge is actually going to be built. The entire platform stands on 4 key pillars that all work together.
You see, this isn't just one single thing. It's a whole ecosystem. The education pillar gives access to courses and AI-powered learning tools. The mentoring pillar is all about creating those direct, personal connections for career advice. The innovation pillar, that's like a digital lab for building startups and collaborating on projects. And the community pillar ties it all together, building networks that can last a lifetime.
And technology is the engine that makes all of this run. Artificial intelligence especially is a massive accelerator here. AI-powered translation can instantly break down language barriers. Personalized learning assistants can act like a private tutor for every student. And tools like career simulators or business plan generators can give young entrepreneurs a huge head start.
And this isn't just a concept. There's a clear, phased plan to bring it to life. The first 6 months are all about building the human network, getting those mentors and experts from the diaspora registered. Then you launch the platform itself. From there, it moves into pilot programs, and finally, you scale it up globally by partnering with universities and major international organizations.
So, after all of that building and all that connecting, what does success actually look like? What's the long-term vision here?
The goal is to create this incredible ripple effect. It starts with an individual getting access to a modern education. That access helps them build stronger professional networks. Those networks, in turn, create new economic opportunities. And that whole cycle fosters a culture of innovation and, maybe most importantly, gives an entire generation a platform to amplify their own voices on the world stage.
Now, to make this really concrete, the strategy kicks off with a very specific pilot project. The goal? Recruit 100 mentors from the diaspora to directly support 1,000 young people. And they'll be focusing on high-impact stuff like coding boot camps and entrepreneurship training. It's a tangible, achievable first step with absolutely massive potential.
And all of this, it builds towards a vision that is both simple and incredibly profound.
fostering a globally connected generation of Afghan talent. A generation that's defined not by its limitations, but by its connections, by its shared knowledge, and by its power to work together and build its own future.
And so, we're left with the one fundamental question that drives this whole thing. This isn't just about solving problems, it's about unlocking potential on a massive scale. What becomes possible when an entire generation's talent finally meets global opportunity? That's the future this strategy invites us to imagine. Thanks for joining me.